Alright everybody, welcome to the Goodie Pantry. Today we're going to be making cheese scones, and there's all your ingredients on the screen. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I also do have another version of this, which is a bit easier and has less ingredients, but this is my best version. Okay, so let's get straight on the video. So I've got my flour, I've got my butter, I'm using real butter, I've got Dijon mustard, I've got my milk and my eggs, and I've got my 2 cheeses grated and mixed. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to get our flour into the bowl, and then we're going to add our salt. Just give that a quick stir, get the salt in with the flour. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our butter. Now I've had this sat for a little bit so it gets to room temperature and makes it a bit more pliable. Then just with your hands, get your hands in there and just start mixing it together until you get a very fine breadcrumb. If you want to do this in a standing mixer, you can just make sure you follow the same steps and everything will go exactly the same. So when it's done, as you see, I've slowed down here, it becomes a very fine breadcrumb, and that's the consistency you want from your flour and your butter. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to get our cheese. So I'm using the 140 grams of the cheese that I grated, and I've put that into the mix, and give it a good stir around with your hands, make sure it's all well mixed. So I've got my milk and my eggs here, and now I'm going to add my mustard straight to the egg mix. I'm using Dijon mustard. You can use English mustard or French, whichever one you prefer, you can use. So here we've got our mix. I'm only going to put about half of it in at the start. And then with the handle of a wooden spoon, I'm just going to start getting that mixed together. We will finish it by hand, but at this point, it's a lot easier to do it this way. And we're going to go in with our egg again, and do this bit by bit until it's fully incorporated. And then we go in with the last of our egg mix. And then I'm just going to mix that again. Once it gets to this point, you can now start doing it by hand. Just be very gentle with it, as you'll see what I'm doing here. I'm not pushing it down, I'm not sticking my finger in it. You don't want to knead it like bread. You just want to gently maneuver it around, giving it a little squeeze here and there, until you get all the ingredients incorporated. And then it'll come out looking like this. Once you've got that done, so now we want to get our flour on our bench, because you're going to need the flour to stop this sticking. So get your scone dough onto your bench, and then you want to get just a little bit more flour and spread it over the top. Okay, so at this point you can see I'm using my hands to pat it down, and that's just because it doesn't press the scone mix as much. Don't use a rolling pin, it can affect the rise of your scones when you do it. So here I've got my scone cutters, so I'm actually going to do these in 2 different ways for a reason. So that's size 3, and you'll see that again later. This one I'm using here is size 2, so we're going to start cutting our scones out of this. Now I'm going to get 12, maybe 13 scones out of this mix. So there we got everything. Now this mix is about 1 inch thick. So just go move it outside, and then with what you've got left, just like you did before, just gently bring it back together. Don't force it, just gently bring it back together, and then start cutting your scones again. Now I have been asked before, why is my scones like lopsided when other people have made them? It's just to do when you press down the cutter. So if you do this and put them on the side and give them a roll once and back, it makes them uniform again. So we got that done, so we're going to transfer these to our baking tray. And then we'll just go with a couple of splashes of milk. I'm just going to milk the top of the scones. This will help give them a good colour, but also help with the cheese. Now with the cheese, just get a small handful and do what I've just done. Just give it a gentle squeeze, and then you can lay it on the top, and it just reduces the amount of cheese that goes all over the tray by a lot. So these are done now, so I'm going to leave these here for 10 minutes while my oven's getting to temperature, which is 200 degrees. Scones will always come out better if you give them 10 minutes to rest on the side. Okay, now these are going in the oven for 12 to 15 minutes until they come out looking like this. Nice golden, well cooked. Now you can see the rise on there. These were 1 inch when I did them, and they're definitely over 2 inches now. So as soon as you can, get them straight onto a cooling tray, and it stops the bottoms from going soggy. Now I did say earlier about the scones, I was going to do 2 different sizes, so I made another mix after this, exactly the same, but I used the next scone cutter size up. Now people have asked me why the scones, a scone can only rise as much as what it's cut, so there's the next size up. Exactly the same recipe, exactly the same method, just a bigger size, it has more room to expand. And then the ours are done and I served them off. Right, thanks for watching guys, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, and I will see you at the next one.